So this is my late review for Companion. I thought this movie was fantastic. This is, in my opinion, still the best movie that I've seen in theaters or watched at home so far this year. I thought the story was great. The characters were really interesting and compelling. I thought it did a great job of keeping you on the edge of your seat. It has some really good twists and tones, and the tone, I think it balances out its tone perfectly. Like movies like The First Happy Death Day and Freaky, which I love, I think those are great examples of having a thriller horror movie where it balances out its tone. And I think this, and to me, this movie hits its tone perfectly, like those movies where this movie can be really funny. Like it has a dark humor to it, but it never feels like it overdoes it with the comedy in this movie. It feels like it's perfectly balanced, has the right moments where it hits the comedy. And there's definitely like a couple moments I thought was really funny in a dark, humorous kind of way. And like I said, the story's great. It really does a great job of doing something fresh and new with the idea of dealing with an AI robot that looks like a person. And it just, like I said, it does a great job of keeping you guessing where the story's going. Like as the movie goes along, you're like, okay, you wonder how is this gonna end, and it does a great job with that. And the main actress, Sophie Dessa, who was in that Liz Hall movie from last year, whose Grant that I loved, she's definitely someone I'm like really excited to see more and more in movies. Like she gave a great performance in that movie, and I think she just gives a great performance in this movie where you really feel for Iris in this movie. And I think she just gives a very layered, depth performance where her character is just so compelling and interesting, and you feel sympathy for her, even though she's a robot. And she actually feels more human than the other characters in this movie, despite the fact she's a robot in the movie. And she just gives a very emotional performance where you just, like I said, you feel for a character. I also think Jack Quaid as Josh, I think he does a great job in this movie where he makes the character likable, but as the movie goes on, you realize, okay, he's taking it too far, and he's really great at playing a bad guy where he's likable, but you also hate him at the same time, and he does just a great job really playing that type of character. Because this is a character I think could easily gone into territory of like where you hate his kid, and you do, but he does it in a way where he's still likable. But like I said, at the same time, you want him to die at the end. Like when Iris kills him, you're like, yes, like you wanted him to die at the end. So I think he does a great job with his performance, where it's just like likable, but you hate him at the same time. And I think the side characters are really fun too. Like I actually really liked all the other characters. Like there is another robot part of the group that's in a relationship with a guy. They in this movie you have two characters that are gay and in a relationship, and one of them is a robot. I actually felt invested in that relationship too. Where I was like, I felt bad for him when his human boyfriend dies in the movie. I was like, yeah, I even felt invested in the side characters. So I think the side characters are just really fun, and I also love how this movie deals with the idea of like in a relationship where you have like one person who wants to be in control of the relationship and how that can get out of hand and how that can become a toxic relationship. And it does it, and it like deals with it in a way where it's really interesting, and you can relate to the fact that like how in relationships sometimes you have like your relationship, and you have that one person who feels like they need to be in control of it, but that can be really bad and toxic in a relationship when you don't have two people who when you have one person who's more in control of the relationship. So I think it just deals with that subject really well in a fresh and exciting way and entertaining way. And it really does a great job with the idea of this robot AI, the character Iris, where she feels unique among other robots I've seen in other movies, where it does something fresh and new without it feeling like it's doing the same thing in other movies. Like that movie, I think it was called Submissive with Megan Fox as a robot. Like that movie was terrible, and that movie just felt like it was just doing stuff you've seen before. And I love how in this movie they flip it on head where the robot, like I said, Iris feels more human than other people in this movie, and you're rooting for the robot in this movie more than the actual people. But throughout this movie, I'm just like I'm investing in a character. Like I want her to live, Iris. So I think it just does a great job of flipping that on its head. So overall, I definitely recommend checking out Companion at the theaters. Like this is a movie to me that deserves to be seen at the theaters. And it's a movie I would go see like a second or third time and want to own physically. Like, this to me is the best movie at this point this year. Highly recommend Companion. Until next time, movie lovers.